Syra, can you schedule an appointment with Darius tomorrow, 5 to 6 p.m.?
All right, I'm on it. Just to confirm, you want me to schedule an appointment with Darius for tomorrow between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Correct.
Done. Hope you and Darius have a productive meeting, or at least one with decent coffee. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
And then can you also send him an email just confirming the time with him?
You got it. I'll fire off an email to Darius confirming the appointment time. Anything else I can do while I'm on a roll? Still there? Let me know if you need anything else.
Should be it. Thank you. All right. So I just asked Syra to schedule me an appointment and then send him an email confirming the time. Let's see if it actually did it. If we go to our calendar here, there's the appointment that's made. Appointment with Darius, 5 to 6 p.m. And then there should be an email right in my inbox here. Hello, Darius. This is a confirmation for the upcoming appointment. Please let me know if you have any questions or need a reschedule. So it made that appointment and sent the email as we told it to. It also has a couple more functionalities. It can update or create tasks for your Microsoft to-do list. You can also log nutrients or like your calories and protein for the day. You could add more, but this Google Sheet I made just tracks my weight, protein goal, and calories. Each day I just have to tell it how much I take in each so far, and then it'll add on top of what we have. Let's say, for example, I say I ate 500 more calories. It's gonna add on to that, and then it also can connect to the content creator workflow that we created. If you guys haven't seen that video, I would definitely check it out. But I'll show you how I connected to it. I won't go through the content creation workflow in this video, but you can definitely go and watch it in my channel. Show you guys how to create the N8N, that's the backend, how to create the interface, how to also create the voice conversational agent, which we used 11 Labs for. Otherwise, let's get right into it, and we'll start with the N8N right away. All right, back on the N8N. So the trigger is going to be a webhook, which means it's going to be a HTTP request getting information from the 11 Labs conversational agent. We're going to be receiving two body parameters. One's going to be a query, so that's going to be the user request. The second is going to be type, so what kind of task is the agent supposed to accomplish. And I'll get more into that when we're on the 11 Labs section. But for now, on N8N, when we receive those two parameters, we're going to be moving on to a Supabase node right here. The reason I'm using Supabase in here is to do dynamic prompting with this agent. So instead of having it have multiple agents getting triggered, so multiple workflows getting triggered, it's just going to be one big workflow with a different prompt dependent on the task. And I got this idea from Kenkai Does AI, so credit to him. So I'll show you here. So on the Supabase, you want to create a table in your table editor, and then add a couple rows. Type and prompts is what you want to create for the two columns, because it's gonna go based off the type. So it's gonna search up by the type, and then it will get the prompt of what you put in there. So on here, for example, there's like a calendar type, and then there's a prompt specifically for calendar tasks. So like you're handling a calendar event request based on the following text, determine the correct action. So you'll create specified prompts for each task, basically. So I have 6 tasks here. You could add as many as you want. So you can see how this can get scaled up pretty crazily. So back in N8N, on the Supabase node, what you're going to do is a get row node. So once you connect to your Supabase account, you want to click row and then do get. Then you're going to click the table name, which is going to be prompts in our case. So right there. And then the column that you're going to be searching the row by, and then it's going to be type for us. And on here, like I said, on the webhook, you're going to be receiving a query and a type. So you could do a test run and then just drag it onto here. But otherwise, it's going to be json.body.type. And then that will get everything on that row. Let's say, for example, we wanted a email or a content row. It's going to get everything there. So that means you'll also get the prompt on here. And then that prompt is going to go into our AI agent right here. This is where everything goes through. So this is like this is Syra basically on the back end. You'll need to add two messages, the user message, which it automatically gives you, and system message. On the system message, this is where you basically determine Syra's or your agent's behavior and tell it what it can do. Don't give it the prompts that we put in Supabase. Just tell it a general idea of what it can do. Like for example, on here I said you're an automation backend for Syra, an intelligent, sarcastic, dry-witted assistant. And then I told it what it can do, like scheduling appointments, managing meals, logging meals, and managing and updating to-do lists. So just give a general idea of what it can do and what it is. And then on the user message, this is where you put your dynamic prompting. So you want to do user message and then drag the query into here. And then you're also going to want to drag the prompt you get from Supabase on here. Also make sure you give it the time because it might give you some random time, because 11 labs is usually not accurate on time unless you tell it what time it is. And then on the response, you want to add a respond to webhook. So all incoming items, it'll basically create an output to the webhook so that the 11 labs conversational agent can respond to you based on what it did. And also back to the webhook, make sure you do select this using respond to webhook node. But yeah, on here though, there's some necessary tools you obviously have to add: the OpenAI chat model, simple memory. Just drag the query into here. You don't need anything more than a simple memory. And then in my case, I needed a calculator because I am logging my gym stuff. So it calculates the protein goal for me. So it's gonna need a calculator for that. And then contacts. So you just put a list of people that you usually email, and then so that it can get that email, send it to it instead of having to ask you that email. So those are the necessary tools, but everything else is gonna depend on you. In my case, I'll just go over it pretty quickly. What I have here, I have like 5 different parts: task management, calendar management, fitness tracking, as I've shown you, email management, and then the content. I'm not gonna go in depth on each one, but let's say for example the task ones. Whenever I ask it to complete a task, it's gonna go into this tool. So if you add a Microsoft to-do list and then you do like tasks and then update, and then you choose the specific list, and then the task ID, it's gonna get it from the get tasks. So you want to also always add get all event, get all tasks, so you can get that ID, so you can use it for completing the task or creating, not creating the task, updating the task. So on here, I just drag that ID into there. You can always, in this case, you could always just do let the model define it, because usually it's accurate. You already gave it everything it needed on the prompts. You don't need anything else. And then on here, I added status. I added the status from over here, and then I clicked completed. So you just have to do the same thing for the rest. Like for example, create task, same thing, task, create, personal, that's like the list, and then the parameter that it needs, for example, the due date for creating task. On the calendar management, same thing, create an event. So like event, create, and then you choose the start and the end. They're all really the same. It just depends on what you want it to do. If you want more of a in-depth tutorial on these tools, I can definitely make a video on that. Just ask me in the comments and I'll do that for you. And then on the content, I'll show you quickly how I connected it to my faceless content creation. First, make sure you watch that video that I'm telling you. It's in my channel. I'll have it in the description as well. So this is my content creation workflow. Back then I had a Telegram trigger, so that's where it got its query from. On here, I chose when executed by another workflow. So I triggered the content creator workflow on here. I chose it from the database, and then just select what workflow that you want. So in our case, it's going to be that content creation workflow. And then on here, you'll just do accept all data. And then on the AI agent, you want to just drag the query. Instead of doing json.content, if you've seen my video, you'll know, you'll do json.query instead. And that's all you really need to change if you've watched that video. Otherwise, we are done on the N8N side. I'll move on to 11 Labs and I'll show you guys how to create that voice agent, which will talk to you, and it doesn't need actual text input to do all these tasks. Right, on the 11 Labs, this is where we're going to be creating the conversational agent. You want to go to agents on here, right under dashboard, and then do a new agent. This is mine right here. I'll go through all you need to fill out to get your agent running. So once you do that, this is what you're going to come up with. You don't need to do anything. I mean, you could choose like the agent language depending on what language you wanted to speak. I didn't do anything else on up here, but on the system prompt, this is where you're basically going to give it its behaviors, what it should do on each instances. For example, down here, I have what it can handle. So like emails, calendar, to-do list, gym tracking, and generating gym content. And then I gave it some examples. So like user email Syra to confirm dinner plans for Friday. And then I gave it like a role. So it's like you done. Let's hope she's as hungry as. So like giving it that little example so that it can develop its own responses. And then right under it, I just told it to send users request to N8N tool. And the tool I'm talking about is going to be down here on the agent. So you want to just scroll down, go to the custom tools, and then you'll just do add tool. And what you'll need to fill out is, first of all, the name. I just set it as N8N. You can choose anything, but I just did N8N. But if you do change the name, you're going to have to tell it here. So once you do that, what you want to do is on the webhook that you create on the workflow, you want to copy either the test. If you're just testing it, you just get the test one. Otherwise, you do the production URL, and then you'll paste it in here. It's going to be a post method, and then response timeout. You don't need to change this at all. The only thing we'll need to fill out here, we don't need to fill out the headers or any of the query parameters. We're just going to do a body parameter, and this is where we're going to put the type it is and the query. So on the query, I just said this extracts the extracted user query from the transcript. I just gave it a description so that it knows what to put in here. And then on the type, I also said the type of task user requests. If you're going to be doing it the same way as me, what you want to do for the type is on the bottom, you want to just tell it what to do on the type. So I told it specifies the category of task the assistant should handle, and then this determines the dynamic prompting. I told it what it does, and then I gave it a list of tasks, and then if none of them match, I just said set it as none, which will just give an error, and then it'll tell you that, oh, it didn't work, for example. I also told it to use lowercase strings as exactly listed so that we can easily get it off from the super base, because all of my stuff is lowercase. And then on here you can choose a different one, but I just kept it as Gemini 2.0 Flash. That should be more than enough. On the temperature, this is just going to be like how random you want it to be. I just did creative. You could do more creative, have it at max. I would just play around with that just so you can get your desired stuff. We don't have anything else we need to put on here. So that's the agent section. And then if you want to move on to the voice here, this is where you're going to select the voice that you want. In my case, I used the 11 Labs voice. So I used the female humanoid British voice. You can look through these, see if one of them is what you want, and you can use that. Otherwise, what you could do is you could create your own voice, so you can clone a voice by just going to home and then doing clone your voice, create or clone, and then you can just set it up right on your mic and record that, and it will clone it for you. I didn't do that because I didn't have any need for it. I like that humanoid British voice, so I just used that as my voice agent. But you could create your own voice is what I was getting at. But that's all you really need to do for that part. The last part is going to be, you want to copy, go to widget right here, and then just copy the embedded code for it. We're gonna put that in our interface just so we can use the test agent in Lovable. All right, this is probably going to be the easiest part of the whole setup. We're going to be using Lovable AI to create our interface. or actually going to be hosting the website in here as well, so that you can access it on your phone or any device. Um, this is a vibe coding software, so you want to be as specific as possible with your prompt. So you want to tell it exactly what you want. So you can be like, all right, I want this box that's glowing, that's doing these cool animations, and then there's going to be a lot of adjustings as well. So when you're adjusting, I would definitely like take screenshots, and then because it can understand screenshots, so you just tell it, hey, I don't like how this is placed over there, can you put it down here, and it'll actually understand that. So once you get your interface all set up and you like how it looks, all you need to do is the embedded code that we got from 11 Labs. You're just going to copy that and then put it in here, just paste it in here, and tell it to integrate it into the software. And then it will place a similar chat box here, and then you can tell it to like move it around. If you want to edit the chat box to look different, like because it's not gonna look like this, I made it look like this. You could, it's gonna be down here on the widget, and then you'll do you can change like the avatar right here. You could also change the colors. You could change what it says. Um, and then at the beginning it's gonna have the text input and conversation transcripts on. I just turned that off because if I had it on, it's gonna show the whole transcript, and I didn't really want that. I want it to be a completely voice agent, so I just turned that off. But it depends on you. So once you put that in, all you have to do to publish it is just click publish up here. It says update for me here, but there's going to be a publish option, and you can get a custom domain, or you can just use the name you have set up on Loverboy. Yeah. But yeah, that's the whole setup. That's how you create the backend, which is N8N, and then the input, which is going to be that 11 Labs, and then this is the interface, which is integrating into 11 Labs. I appreciate you guys for making it to the end. If you like the video, please make sure to subscribe. That will help me a lot. I'll also have the template in my Discord server. I'll have it in the description. Otherwise, if you have any questions as well, I'll also be there in my community server. Yeah, you guys have a good day.